If we have some ratios like 18/3 and 12/2 equals 24/4, all of them, 18 divided by 3 is 6, and 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So here the top, the antecedent 18 is equal to the consequent 3 multiplied by 6, which is the constant. And 12 is equal to 2 multiplied by 6. Okay. And 24 is equal to 4 multiplied by 6, the constant here. So if we have some values like A, B, C, and D, and they are proportional. So because they are proportional, the first over the second equals the third divided by the fourth equals m. M is a constant because they are equal ratios. So if I want to get A is equal to B multiplied by M. Like this example here, I multiplied 3 by the constant 6. And if I want to get 12, it's 2 multiplied by the constant. And 24 is 4 multiplied by the constant. So we will do the same here. If I want to get A, so A equals BM and C equals DM. If A, B, C, D, E, and F are proportional, so A over B is the same as C over D is the same as E over F. All these ratios are equal to a constant number, which is M. I assumed that the constant is M. So if I want to get A, so A equals BM, and C is equal to DM, and E equals FM. That's it. Let's have a look at this example. If A, B, C, and D are proportional quantities, prove that A to the power of 2 plus C to the power of 2 over AB plus CD is equal to A over B. So let's take the right hand side and the left hand side. I want to prove them. So before that, let's say that A, B, C, and D, they are proportional. If they are proportional, that means A over B, the same as C over D, equals M. So what is the value of A? As I said before, A equals BM. And what is the value of C? Equals DM. So write the left-hand side. The left-hand side is given as A to the power of 2 plus C to the power of 2 over AB plus CD. And substitute A. Instead of A, we are going to write BM. But pay attention, it's A to the power of 2. So we are going to write instead of A, BM. Because A is raised to the power of 2, so we're going to write B to the power of 2, M to the power of 2, plus C to the power of 2. C equals DM. So C to the power of 2 is equal to D to the power of 2, M to the power of 2. All divided by AB. What is the value of A? A is BM, and B is B, right? B as it. So it's BM multiplied by B plus CD. What is the value of C? C equals, right, instead DM and D as it. Then take M to the power of 2 as a factor at the top. So M to the power of 2 multiplied by, you are left with B to the power of 2 plus D to the power of 2. All divided by BM times B, it's B to the power of 2M plus DM times D, it's D to the power of 2M. Then take a factor down here. We have M as a factor. So write the top as it's m to the power of 2 multiplied by b to the power of 2 plus d to the power of 2, all divided by. Take here, we have m as a factor, because m is repeated. b to the power of 2 multiplied by m plus d to the power of 2 multiplied by m. So take m as a factor. You are left with here, you are left with b to the power of 2 plus d to the power of 2. Then we have at the top and at the bottom b to the power of 2 plus d to the power of 2, and down here we have b to the power of 2 and d to the power of 2, so cancel them out. So we ended up with m to the power of 2 divided by m to the power of 2 divided by m equals n. That's the left hand side. What about the right hand side? Write it. The right hand side is a over b, so right here the right hand side is a over b. Instead of a, you are going to write bm and b as it. Cancel b and b, so the right hand side is equal to m. I managed to prove that the left hand side and the right hand side are equal because both of them are equal to m. Once again, if A, B, C, and D are proportional quantities, prove that. This is the left-hand side and this is the right-hand side. Write the left-hand side and substitute. Instead of A, we are going to write Bm, but it's not A, it's A raised to the power of 2, so it's B to the power of 2, M to the power of 2, plus C to the power of 2. C to the power of 2 is D to the power of 2, M to the power of 2. Do you know why? Because C is equal to dm. Here we have C to the power of 2. So it's D to the power of 2, M to the power of 2, all divided by B to the power of 2 plus D to the power of 2. And don't make this mistake and cancel B to the power of 2 and B to the power of 2. It's not right. But take a factor. What is the factor here? The factor is m to the power of 2. M to the power of 2 is repeated in the two terms, m to the power of 2 and m to the power of 2. So take it as a factor, m to the power of 2. And after that, you are left with b to the power of 2 plus d to the power of 2, all divided by b to the power of 2 plus d to the power of 2. We observe that the b to the power of 2 plus d to the power of 2 as a whole chunk is common here between the top and the bottom, so cancel them out. Then we ended up with m to the power of 2. That's for the left hand side. And when we go to the right hand side, it's AC. It's not a plus c, it's AC. AC means a multiplied by c. So I'm going to write instead of a, we're going to write bm multiplied by c, it's dm, all divided by bd, right? Bd. In this case, we can cancel b and d because b times m times d times m. Because they are multiplying together, we couldn't take a factor here because it's b times m times d times m, because some students get confused and take m as a factor. No, we couldn't do that here in this case because it's bm times dm. We are going to cancel b and b and cancel d and d. So we ended up with m to the power of 2. Now I managed to prove that the left hand side is the same as the right hand side. That's it. The same idea here of A, B, C, and D are proportional quantities. Prove that. That's the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So the left hand side is given as AC over BD. It's A multiplied by C. So write instead of A. A is BM because they are proportional. So A over B equals C over D equals M. So what is the value of A? A is equal to BM, and what is the value of C is equal to DM. And the left-hand side is AC. A is BM multiplied by C, it's DM. Okay. don't take a factor here because they b is multiplied by m is multiplied by d is multiplied by m, all divided by bd. Only we can cancel b and d and d. They have been cancelled. And m times m is m to the power of 2. That's it. That's the left-hand side. Some students again get confused and take m as a factor. Don't do that, okay? Because they are the values here, they multiply by each other, okay? And the right-hand side, it's a minus c over b minus d. So a minus c instead of a, all raised to the power of 2. Don't forget it. A is bm minus c. C is dm, all divided by b minus d. Here, don't cancel b and b. Don't do that. And don't cancel d and d. Look, take a factor. What is the repeated letter here? The repeated letter is m. So take m as a factor. After taking m, you are left with b minus d, all divided by b minus d. After that, just focus on the top and on the bottom. You will find that b minus d here is repeated. I'm talking about b minus d as a whole chunk. It's b minus d. So this bracket is repeated at the top and at the bottom. Cancel b minus d and b minus d together. So you are left with m only, and m raised to the power of 2. M raised to the power of 2 is equal m to the power of 2. We ended up with m to the power of 2, and the right-hand side is m to the power of 2. So they are equal. I proved that the left-hand side and the right-hand side are the same. A, B, C, and D are proportional quantities, proves that. So A over B equals C over D equals M. What is the value of A? A is equal to BM. And what is the value of C? C equals BM. So write the left-hand side. The left-hand side is equal to A plus B over C plus D, all raised to the power of 2. What is the value of A? Write instead of A, write BM plus B. And what is the value of B? Or no, B, write B as it. There is no value for B. Just we have a value for A and a value for C. All divided by C plus D. What is the value of C? C equals dm plus D. What is the value of D? It's D only. There is no value for D. D is only D, okay? But what is the value of A? A is equal to Bm, and what is C? C is equal to Bm. That's the substitution of A and the substitution of C. All raised to the power of 2 equals, what is the factor at the top? Look at the factor. You'll find that B is repeated here. B here is repeated. So take B as a factor. You are left with Bm divided by B, it's M, and B divided by B, it's 1. Okay? All divided by, what is the factor down? The factor at the bottom, it's D, and here D is repeated. So take D as a factor. You are left with M plus 1, because dm divided by d is m, and d divided by d is 1. All raised to the power of 2. After that, cancel m plus 1 and m plus 1. So you will end up with b over d, all raised to the power of 2. That is equal to b to the power of 2, all divided by d to the power of 2. That's the left-hand side. What about the right-hand side? The right-hand side, it's 2a to the power of 2 minus 3b to the power of 2, all divided by 2c to the power of 2 minus 3d to the power of 2. We are going to substitute a. A is bm. So it's a to the power of 2. So it will be 2 as it, and instead of a to the power of 2, it's b to the power of 2, m to the power of 2, minus 3b to the power of 2, right? B to the power of 2 here. That's the value. B to the power of 2, write it as it b to the power of 2. There is no substitution for b. All divided by 2c to the power of 2, it's 2. What is the value of c? C is equal to dm. So instead of c, we are going to write d to the power of 2, m to the power of 2, minus 3d to the power of 2 as it. Look at the top. You will find that we have a factor. What is the factor? The factor is b to the power of 2. Is repeated in the 2 times b to the power of 2. So take b to the power of 2 as a factor. You are left with 2m to the power of 2 minus 3, because we are going to divide the first term by b to the power of 2. This term here is 2b to the power of 2, m to the power of 2, divided by b to the power of 2. So after dividing it, you will get 2m to the power of 2, and here minus 3b to the power of 2 divided by b will be minus 3, all divided by here. We have a factor here. The factor is d to the power of 2, and here d to the power of 2. Take d to the power of 2 as a factor. And also we have 2 terms here. The 2 terms are 2d to the power of 2m to the power of 2 minus 3d to the power of 2. So you will get in the brackets, after dividing them, because I took d to the power of 2 as a factor, so you are left with 2m to the power of 2 minus 3. And here it's d to the power of 2, the factor. So you will get at the top and at the bottom the bracket 2m to the power of 2 minus 3, and down we have 2m to the power of 2 minus 3. Cancel them out. So you will end up with b to the power of 2 all divided by d to the power of 2. So the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. That's it. The same idea here. A, B, C, and D are proportional quantities. I want to prove that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So, as you know, is A over B is equal to C over D is equal to M, because they are proportional. So what is the value of A? A equals Bm, and what is the value of C is equal to Dm. The left-hand side is equal to the cubic root of 5a to the power of 3 minus 3c to the power of 3, all divided by 5b to the power of 3 minus 3d to the power of 3. So instead of a, we are going to write what? A is bm, so it's 5 as it, and a to the power of 3, it's b to the power of 3, m to the power of 3, minus 3c to the power of 3, it's 3, and c to the power of 3, c is equal to dm, so it's d to the power of 3, m to the power of 3, all divided by 5, b to the power of 3, right, b to the power of 3 as it, minus 3, d to the power of 3. That's the cubic root. We have a factor here. The factor is b here. The factor is m to the power of 3, is repeated in the 2 terms. So take m to the power of 3 as a factor. You are left with 5b to the power of 3 minus 3d to the power of 3, all divided by 5b to the power of 3 minus 3d to the power of 3. The same bracket here at the top, at the bottom, cancel them out. You are left with the cubic root of m to the power of 3, which is equal to m. That's the left-hand side. What about the right-hand side? The right-hand side is a plus c all divided by b plus d. So what is the value of a? A is equal to bm plus c is dm, all divided by b plus d. don't make this mistake and cancel B and B now. Just take a factor here. The factor is M, so you're left with B plus D, and at the bottom B plus D. Cancel B plus D, so we ended up with M. So the left hand side is M and the right hand side is M.